Okay, so hopefully your matching steps exercise is going well. And what I want to talk to you today about is the importance of your horse respecting aids. And you can start working on that with your horse on the ground. So in order for you and your horse to have a confident relationship, the horse has to not only be attentive to you, but responsive in a positive way to the things that you're asking. So when you ask them to move away from pressure, they should move away from pressure. And when you ask them to follow and give to pressure, they should do that too. So I'm just going to show you some exercises that you can do with your horse to enhance that before you start riding. Okay, so the very first exercise we're going to do, I'm actually going to put my ground whip down, is basically a turn on the forehand on the ground. I'm going to take the lead rope and just measure it to the length from his head to the base of his neck. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my right hand, so I'm standing on the left side of the horse, and put my left hand towards the base of his neck, and my right hand is going to put pressure right in about the same spot as my leg would go, and I'm going to ask the horse to move. So he's moving forward. Bentley's a little lazy today, so I got to get him going and moving. And then again, I'm going to put my hand towards the base of his neck. And my goal here is to press my hand where my leg would go on his side and push his rib cage over every time this inside hind leg comes off the ground. So I would push now, 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 so that his hind legs are turning a bigger circle than his front legs. And what I want to see happen is that this horse naturally bends because this inside hind leg is turning, that I can put my hand on the base of his neck and that the rope doesn't get tight. That he's responsive, hind leg's active. When I push, he pushes that hind leg under. What might happen is your horse may resist the pressure of your hand and push against it and try to stiffen their neck. So if they do that, if you're feeling them pulling on the rope, you need just a little bit more pressure and you need to effectively get the inside hind leg under, under, and under. Okay, and so we're going to try that on the other side. I'm just going to take the rope to the base of the neck, and every time his right hind leg comes off the ground, I'm going to push, push, and I'm going to keep going like this until the horse bends, good, and relaxes. Push, and that he's not pulling on this inside rope. All right, so it's important because when you're riding and you're riding a horse that might be a little bit nervous, it's important that they respond to your leg aid. So if you put your inside leg on, you can engage that inside hind leg, the horse is going to start to bend. And one of our mantras that we'll be using throughout this series is a bending horse is a relaxed horse. So if things are getting tight and tense at any point in time, you can use a bending exercise to help relax your horse, which will in turn relax you as well. All right, so I'm going to show you one more exercise that you can do that helps you kind of get a better sense of where the horse's legs are, as well as get the horse bending and relaxing. This is called the clock exercise, and I'm just going to stand right in front of Bentley, and I've got my ground working whip here to help just extend my arm. And again, I'm going to ask him to get going. I'm going to get his feet moving. I'm going to stand in place so that the horse turns around me. So I want you to really notice that I'm not letting him back me up. I'm standing in the same spot, and I'm asking the horse to turn around me. So he does fuss a little bit. Again, the timing now, I'm focused on the inside hind leg. So I'm going to get Bentley moving again. When his hind leg comes off the ground, I'm going to kind of push with the whip. Push, 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 and push. And then the whip can go in front to stop him. So if your horse is just learning this, either one of these exercises, and you get a few good steps, you can stop with a few good steps and then repeat it just a couple of times until they learn it. And then after they've learned it, you can keep going like I'm going with Bentley here, that he does a full circle or two or three Bentley can keep going because he knows this exercise. So as you see, I'm kind of pushing the whip towards his leg as it comes up and off the ground. So you don't have to touch him with it. If your horse is super sensitive with a whip, you don't have to touch, just kind of push air at it. So that leg's coming off the ground. Now, now, now. And then when I want him to stop, I just bring my whip out in front. So just real quick, if you're just teaching your horse that first exercise, just get him to give you a couple of good steps, 1, 2, 3, and then let them stop. Once they really know it very well on their left side, then you can move over to the right, get them moving, 1, 2, 3. Again, your goal is to make sure the horse is bending naturally because their inside hind leg is correctly engaging. When you do your clock exercise, if your horse, when you're teaching your horse the clock exercise, if they start to come forward towards you or try to get around behind you, you're just going to ask them to back up a little bit and then try it again. So push, see how he wants to kind of come into me? I can back him up. And then you just get a couple of good steps and then let them be good when they give you good steps. A lot of times a horse will try to get out of this exercise by either pushing you backwards or trying to go around behind you. So if you feel that happening, just ask them to back up and try again. 3 good steps where that hind leg crosses under. You really want that cross under. If you don't get that cross under, you won't get the bend and you won't get the relaxation, okay? And see, once they learn it and you get them going and get that nice bending, get the body warm, they start to relax. And then you've got, again, a horse that you can work with and a horse that can learn. Okay, so give that a try. Make sure you comment in the community how you're doing. If you're having any trouble or if you're having any successes, please share it.